Every human being on this planet is a unique puzzle. They are joined by various life experiences, various life expertise, and their perspective in life. No two person, be it own brother or sister, can have the same kind of experience in life and share the same kind of perspective. It is because each one of us are really unique. But what makes us unique and how can you assess it? A very simple form of assessing your uniqueness, which we all know, is either an MBTI model, which tests your personality, or doing a SWOT analysis of your skills. But is that only thing that is required? A skill or your personality? Are you only made of your skill or personality? I don't think so. You are made of much more factors. And there are 10 factors which actually makes a person unique. So let's go one by one with each factor and understand why are we unique. So the first factor, personality. Personality can be inherent or exuberant, like an introvert or an extrovert. It shows a personality can be seen by the way you look, by the way the physical attributes that you have, or by the way you communicate with people. So once you start communicating with people, you talk with people, they come to know about your personality, the kind of thoughts you have, the kind of actions you have. So all these comes under same. And of course, your physical personality is seen by the visual communication. So the height you have, the color you have, the kind of dresses you wear, the kind of makeup you do, the kind of grooming you have, everything brings up a personality. You can see a person being an introvert and extrovert through an MBTI model or becoming an ambivert. But only does that only thing make you? No, there are much more to it. The second thing is your experiences. So every personality that you are, a unique personality that you are, you might be having unique experiences. Be it you stay in the same house, live in the same society, go to the same school, go to the same college, work in the same environment or the office space. You are unique on your experience. No two experiences are the same. So my experiences of working in a bank is very, very different from other person's experience who is also working in a bank. So being husband and wife also, I have been worked in a bank and my husband is also a banker, but still we both have very different experiences of working in a bank. The third aspect comes up is called attitude, the kind of attitude that you carry. And this is developed by the kind of upbringing and the experience you have or the society that you have lived in. So be it a negative attitude or a positive attitude that an experience has left in you, both are infectious and both are influential. It all depends on what kind of attitude you are choosing, which is unique to you. Then comes up your habits. So after your attitudes are your habits which you develop. So once you develop a habit which is healthy, positive, is working towards you or it's working for you, you get into a healthier lifestyle. But if you have your habits which are not working which are not working towards your benefit, so that means you don't manage your time well, you don't have a leadership skill, you are not an extrovert. So all these habits of yours which are not working for you generally pull you down to have negative experience in life. So now all these four aspects are interlinked to each other. They don't stand individual. After your attitudes and experience comes your creativity. Now talking about creativity, is only a painter and a dancer a creative person? No, you might not be the best painter in the world or the best dancer in the world, but you might be a person who creates projects well, who delivers projects well, who has creative ideas to enhance a kind of a particular project that you are doing in the team, or who is very good in desk arrangement, or who is a very, very organized person. So these also counts in creativity. Only arts and science does not make you a creative person. Even the way you live your life makes you a creative person.